Hi, I'm Frankie.
And I'm Patrick.
And this is Conbini Cult. Woo! Welcome back to another episode. We have a very special guest today. If you've been on TikTok and you're even remotely interested in teaching English in Japan, you have definitely seen Mr. Patrick.
It's Mr. Patrick.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
If you were not available today, I was going to ask Baba Ganoush to be on.
Baba Ganoush. He may have been willing to join.
He's your evil twin, right?
Yeah. He's my evil twin brother. Yeah. He's not super into stuff like this, but he may have been able to be convinced to join.
But you're here. So
I'm here.
It's all good. So yeah, I just wanted to ask about your teaching journey. And from what I understand, you're not an English teacher anymore, but you're still a teacher.
Correct.
Which might be confusing for some people. So I want to get into how that changed and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But to begin, so you're from the U.S., right?
Correct. I'm from Michigan.
Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm from the East Coast, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. New Jersey. Nice. Have a few friends from there. Never been myself, though.
Did you also go to school in Michigan, or did you change states?
I did. I went to school in Michigan, but went to university in Ohio. But actually was born in Pennsylvania. I was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where they filmed The Office.
The Office.
But was only there for a few years before moving to Michigan. But yeah, grew up in Michigan and everything,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I was also born in Pennsylvania, in Philly.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, and then we moved to New Jersey when I was maybe 4 or 5, and then I went to school in New York.
Okay. Wow.
So I had my coming of age, learning about adulthood in New York City.
New York. Wow, that's a place to do it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So then how did you begin your teaching journey? Did you always want to be a teacher?
Actually, no.
Really?
I never envisioned myself being a teacher, especially in a foreign country. But so I got my degree in communications, specifically in electronic media. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was computer animation, web design type of, like that kind of communication. Communication is like the umbrella, and then specifically through web design and animation. But I was horrible at all of it. Okay. Can't do any web design, can't do any 3D animation. And then I went to actually China for a few years to teach English there, just because I had been to China for 1 month during my university years to do like volunteer work and loved it, had an amazing time there. And I wanted to go back to the country. And there was an opportunity through my university for postgraduates to go and teach for a year, however long they want to renew the contracts. And so I did 3 years there. And then I ended up coming to Japan to also teach English. And during my maybe 6th year teaching English, I realized I actually kind of want to do this professionally. Like I want to get a teaching license and become more than just an English teacher. Because when you teach English, you have multiple classes that you're teaching, but you're with them for like maybe an hour, maybe 50 minutes.
If and it's then like eikaiwa style.
Exactly, eikaiwa style. So, and that's fine. I loved my teaching, my English teaching years, but I wanted to have my own class of students, be with them throughout the day and have more opportunities to build into them and watch them grow.
Yeah.
And so I got my teaching license and then became a homeroom teacher in an international school instead of Japanese schools. So yeah, I've been there since.
To go back to when you first started teaching, so have you always taught kids, or did you ever teach adults too?
I've pretty much always taught kids. I haven't always taught young kids, but I've always taught elementary, kindergarten, or high school, middle school kids.
Okay.
The oldest I've taught has been juniors, I think, like 17-year-olds, yeah.
And that was like eikaiwa style, not ALT or?
That was back in China, actually.
Do they have conversation type schools there, or
they
is
do?
It?
Yeah, they do. They do definitely have those types of companies and institutions. But I worked at a really, really big middle school and high school in China, and so I was just one of their like elective classes, basically like a speech class.
Okay.
That was the extent of my experience with the older kids, but I loved it. It was great. I still keep in touch with some of my students from that time. That was years ago. They really enjoyed the classes. I enjoyed teaching them. But I also love my job here. I love teaching the young ones now. I teach first grade, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, a lot of energy, exhausting, but they're really cute. They're really fun. They keep me young, I like to think. Yeah, it's a good time.
Before you transitioned to Japan, what made you want to come here?
So I was teaching in China, right? And my older sister actually was teaching in Japan at the same time. And so I was able to...
Is she still here?
Interestingly, yes. But she just moved back maybe a month and a half ago. She has not been in Japan for years. When I moved to Japan, we had like 3 months of overlap, and then she moved back to the States with her husband. And they have kids now. They've raised a few kids. And they came back recently for a 2-year stint with her husband's company. So yes, she is here, but she has not been here for the whole time I've been here, pretty much.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
I know, right? Yeah, super coincidental that that all worked out. But so she was teaching here. I was in China. I visited her here, and I was like, oh man, Japan's great. Like, I love this country. I love the customer service here. I love the cleanliness. I love the politeness. I love the, all the different things that you love about Japan when you're a tourist. You see a lot more of the real Japan when you live here. So that was enough to make me want to switch countries. Even though I did love China. Like, I loved my time in China. It was great. Again, I made so many close relationships with students I had there. My coworkers were great. Really, really great experience. But I knew I wanted to transition. So it was just a matter of coming here and seeing it all. I think a couple times I visited her here, and both times I was like, yeah, this is where I want to end up. So after 3 years, I moved here. Been here ever since.
Yeah. What are some of the differences between living in China and living in Japan?
Differences. So one of the biggest differences, and this is what I always tell people when they ask me, is the way that you make connections with people is so different in China versus Japan. In China, people are very outgoing. They're very blunt. They're very straightforward. They will come up to you, and I got approached all the time and would be asked, oh, are you from Africa? And I'd say, no, I'm actually from the US. And they'd say, oh, okay, well, that means you can speak English, right? Can I practice my English with you? This would happen on the train. This would happen in lines at like the Apple store. It happened once in the Apple store. I'm waiting in this long line. This guy's like, hey, can I practice my English with you? It happened like randomly in streets. Like it was very easy to connect with people. And it wasn't always a deep connection, but like I was able to take those initial connections and form them into actual friendships with a lot of people there. And so I would say that was pretty jarring when I moved to Japan and was not necessarily expecting the same thing, but was expecting to be able to make friends. And pretty early on, I learned, oh, it's not a simple thing to do. They're not going to come up to me and say anything. And if I go up to them and ask them, oh, do you speak English? They're going to say, no, I don't.
Nope,
Even if they do, they will say, absolutely not. I can't speak any English. Which is fair. Like you don't expect people in a country where they don't have English as a first language to speak English. But I learned pretty quickly that, you have to be really intentional to make friends here. You have to be able to connect with them in their language. You have to be able to, or have, common interests. You have to be able to participate in the same hobbies, or you have to, maybe you work together. That's a good way to connect with people in Japan. But again, those don't always translate into deep connections,
deep
friendships. You have to really, if you connect online, you might not hear from them for months and months and months. You have to be intentional and connect with them there and be like, okay, do you want to hang out? Do you want to hang out? Do you want to hang out?
Yeah. I mean, even if it is a good friend, you could ask them like, oh, when are you free next? And oh, maybe 2 months from now.
Exactly.
It takes a while to plan stuff sometimes.
It does. And I find that true for me too. People ask me to hang out. I'm like, maybe at the end of the month. And then the end of the month gets here and I'm like, actually, it's not going to work out. Maybe I can do next month. It's hard, especially, in the working space.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, people have lots of, like, the schedules vary from person to person. And
That's true.
when you live in different areas of Tokyo, it's not always easy to meet in a spot that's convenient for both of you. And there's lots of factors, but I would say that's a big difference. The people here are very shy. They're not outgoing. They're not blunt like Chinese people. They go around. They weave in and out to make a point sometimes.
Except in Kansai.
Yes, that is true. That's very true.
Yeah.
I was based in Miyagi my first 5 years in Sendai.
Interesting.
And then I came down to the Tokyo area. But I visited Osaka, Kyoto a few times. I loved it. I really like Osaka, and the people there are much more. Yeah, they're more outgoing. They're more.
Yeah, a bit more blunt.
They're more blunt. Yeah, exactly. A bit more. Not like. I don't think they compare to China
Maybe
in that
not.
sense.
Yeah,
but,
not on that level, but compared to Tokyo.
Exactly.
For
exactly.
sure. So when you were posting on TikTok, did you start during COVID, or is that just when things really picked up?
Yes, when things picked up it was after COVID. Things picked up for me a lot, after COVID.
Yeah.
I think I started technically right before COVID. It was like 2019, October. It was October, I remember. And I was posting a ton. Like, I was posting almost every day, just seeing what worked. And then stuff did kind of start to pick up, but not significantly pick up until 2020.
Were you posting about like stories about teaching or other types of stuff?
It was
because you like dancing, right?
Right. In the very beginning, it was just dancing, and then it kind of switched to story times and skits. But in the beginning, it was teaching related stuff I was teaching or posting, but I wouldn't say I really began like not compilations, what's the word? I didn't really begin the series that I had with, like, Bobby and everything. That didn't really begin until after I had gained a significant following. It was just kind of sporadic things here and there, trying this, trying that. And then things did pretty well before the pandemic in January of that year. But then when I moved to Tokyo in March of that year, and they like instituted the state of emergency in Tokyo the week after I moved, and people were kind of just at home. Like, I remember working from home the next few months. A lot of people in the US were also on lockdown. And my biggest audience is the US.
In the US.
And so, people were just at home with nothing to do. And that's the only reason I have any kind of a following, because my stuff's really not that great. I'm not a great content creator.
Good stories.
I thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like my stuff's kind of, it's very average, very mediocre, because I don't put a whole lot of effort into my content. It's just like,
well, it's just mostly talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I see other people,
but there's value in it. So
that's good. That's I do want to, and I want to be authentic in my content. I don't ever want to be like making stuff up for the sake of virality or something. I know people do appreciate that. They tell me that in the comments. I just met a bunch of people last night, a lot of creators in the space, and they were telling me the same thing. They're like, your approach is very genuine and it's authentic, and I think that's why your stuff is so likable. Yeah. Which, made me feel good, because like these days I'm like, I just pick up my phone. I'm like, do I want to film something? No, I don't film anything for like days and days at a time, as opposed to before where it was like daily almost posting. I'm like, I'm so exhausted from work.
Yeah, that gets exhausting too.
Yeah.
You get burnt out quickly.
Exactly. I try to keep myself from getting burnt out with content creation. But
because that's a hobby, right?
Exactly. It's a hobby. And I think people who do get burned out, they tend to do it for, like, they use it as a means of supporting themselves, right? Yeah. That's their sole source of income. For me, I teach. That's my source of income, and content creation's on the side. So I haven't quite gotten burned out yet, because I'm not like doing it constantly every day or every week. It still remains something that's fun, that I do for fun. But even at that, sometimes I'm like, oh, I just don't have the energy for it, and I won't film anything for, a week at a time. And so nowadays I'm like, are people even still interested in my stuff? I don't know what I'm posting at the time. I don't know if it's worth it, but it is still fun to do. So I still post sometimes.
Yeah.
But
it's also an outlet. If you just have something you want to share.
Right.
Tell it to the world.
Yeah, I don't know if anything I'm thinking of or what's on my heart is very worthwhile, but yeah, it's fun to share sometimes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So Bobby is one student that was in a lot of your stories.
Yes.
So he's a real boy.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
I think by now he's probably 11? I think he's 11.
Oh, okay,
12
okay.
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that when you were teaching in Miyagi or in Tokyo?
Bobby, I met Bobby in Tokyo when I first moved to Tokyo. Yeah, I think at the kindergarten I started at here in Tokyo.
Was it when you were in Tokyo already that you decided to get is it a master's in teaching? Or?
Master's, yeah. I have a master's in special education. But that wasn't until a few years ago, like maybe 2 years ago, I decided to go that route.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So very recent.
Yeah, very recent. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm done with school now. I'm like, I'm not going back to school anymore.
Yeah,
exhausted.
You must have been working full time
Yes.
as you were doing that, though. So studying at night.
Yes,
Working
doing work at
during the
night. Exactly. I'd finish work, go home, and just get work done.
Yeah.
It was exhausting, but now it's done.
But it's worth it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I really started to develop a heart for kids with special needs. Throughout my time in Japan and even in China, I had a number of students who were special needs, but just, not always knowing the best ways to support them. And there not being a real big emphasis on support for kids with special needs in Asia, I would say in general, as opposed to like the US where there's a lot of people who are available to support and a lot of accommodations that are made to support kids. It's growing here. There's more. There's a growing number of I would say maybe a growing amount of interest, I guess, in that area, that need.
Yeah. Maybe awareness.
Yes.
Too, right?
Yeah. I think the awareness is becoming more. They're more visible these days. The kids with those needs, than they were back when I first began teaching. But I hope that increases in the future, and I want to be a part of that. And so, yeah, I think having kids in my classes, especially in the last few years that I was able to support, really just made an impression on me, and I want to kind of do that more full time. So I got my master's, and I'm hoping to make that career change soon.
So that's like you found your calling.
I think so. Yeah.
Back in the States, so my little sister, she works with special needs elementary school students.
Yeah. A lot of respect for people who work with kids with special needs, because I never really had that was never on my radar. I mean, I think supporting kids is always important, has always been important to me as an educator, but that specifically was not something I really considered in a significant way until, again, just a few years ago when I worked really closely with one of my students who was special needs. And
okay. Yeah, I was going to ask, was it because of one student?
It was really one specific student. Made such an impression on me. He's this really sweet kid. And I'm like, man, it's so fulfilling being able to support them and see them grow. And when, their parents see the growth too, and they're able to, track the progress, and they tell you about it, and they're like, the parents are really thankful to me for working with him. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I love this. I think this is what I'm maybe made for. And so, yeah, went that route.
So sweet. So now you're teaching first grade.
Yes,
I
teach
your own
first grade.
Class
yes.
At an international school.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I love the kids. The kids are great. And I've worked with small kids for a number of years, but they're quite energetic.
Yeah, when I was teaching, it was primarily with preschoolers.
Oh,
so
preschoolers.
1.5 to 3.
Yeah.
So they don't even really speak Japanese. They're
Right.
just learning how to be a human.
Exactly.
So a lot of the day-to-day, like we might have our lesson time in the afternoon, but most of the day is like snack time, going to the park. It's all in English, but
I see.
Yeah.
How many years did you do that?
4, I think, yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
But in the last, at one point I was working just part-time, and then I also did part-time at an eikaiwa.
Okay.
So at the eikaiwa, I did not want to teach kids. I only wanted to teach adults at the eikaiwa because I feel like having only a 45 or 50-minute class, you can't build any rapport with the students. It's really hard to connect with them in such a short amount of time.
Yeah. I agree. How was that, the difference between working with the preschoolers and then the adults?
It was really interesting because, like, of course, toddlers, they're not embarrassed about anything. They're not that quiet. Yeah.
They are who they are.
Goes. They don't have any preconceived notions about, like, this is what you look like, so you need to act like this. Like, you're American, so why are you so quiet? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Adults are, although I did meet some very interesting people, but sometimes it was a bit awkward.
Awkward.
There was, because at this eikaiwa, I would also fill in for teachers who called out.
Okay.
So they weren't always my regular students. So there was one person, they put on the notes, like, this lady, like, do not ask about her family. Do not ask about her job. And I'm like, what can I ask her? I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you navigate conversations with her?
Well, actually, I got lucky because she didn't show up to the lesson. So
She didn't come.
So I was pretty relieved about that because the notes scared me.
Yeah.
I can't ask her anything. What is she going to do?
This is like conversation type. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it one-on-one?
Mostly. Maybe like 1 to 3.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be pretty awkward if you couldn't ask basic questions to get to know someone because they're off limits.
Yeah. Yeah. But most of the time, it was fine. It was that one lady that I never met. But yeah, I did really enjoy working with kids. But it's always the management that is like the micromanaging, and they want the foreign teacher to act a certain way, to be very loud and bubbly and a big clown.
Yep,
and
basically dancing monkey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know Blippi?
Blippi.
It's like a kid's YouTube channel. He wears an orange hat or something, but I had a parent tell me before, like, oh, like, this is Blippi. Like, can you act more like this?
Can you act like this cartoon character?
Oh, he's a real guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he's real.
Oops.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he like Steve from Blue's Clues kind of vibe? Or
I think so. I've never really watched a full video, but he's very animated. Like, whoa, this is what we're doing. Like, let's go to the park. And that's not how I talk. And, like, that's not always what kids need.
Right, yeah. Some kids...
Especially if you're with them from 9 to 2.
Yeah.
You can't act like that all day.
Oh, my gosh, no.
During the lesson time, I would get goofy. But that's
okay,
to
let's
make
go
them
to the
pay
bathroom,
attention.
kids. So here it is, the bathroom.
Potty time.
Yeah.
Now it's lunchtime.
Yeah. The micromanagement in Japan in the education space is, I mean, probably just jobs in general. I've never worked for like corporate Japan.
Neither have I.
I hear all kinds of horror stories about it, but I know with education, it can be pretty,
Yeah, I've never taught anywhere else, so I'm not really sure. When you were teaching in China, was it kind of the same? Like, you're American, you need to be loud and bubbly.
I think we had a lot more freedom. I would say even at the school I taught at in Sendai, it was started by foreigners, even though it's a Japanese youchien, Japanese kindergarten. But the staff was pretty, not divided, but we had like a Japanese side and a foreign side. And so we had overlap sometimes, but we had a lot of freedom in the foreign side. In China, it was kind of similar, but it was a Chinese school that had been around for years and years and years. And I think they trusted us to just, build the kids' English however we needed to do it. And that was nice to have that freedom. I would say very rarely would they say, we need you to do this or not do this.
Yeah.
Which was nice. Yeah. my job in Tokyo, when I first moved to Tokyo, that youchien was a bit micromanaging to the point where I was like, maybe I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And then I left.
I've had both foreign and Japanese bosses, and it was pretty much the same all around with the micromanaging. I don't know what is
what's
up
normal
with that, but
okay. So at the eikaiwa or the
not so much the eikaiwa, because I guess with adults, like they'll complain if they want to.
That's true.
they don't need to
that.
micromanage you. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but with the kids,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it was a foreign boss and a Japanese boss.
yeah,
running
and
it.
separate schools.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I've had
Gotcha.
both.
Gotcha. Both are pretty like same level of micromanagement.
Yeah, maybe it was just bad luck on my end, but like everywhere I worked, it was pretty intense with that.
Yeah.
But the last school that I worked at, my class was 2 to 3 years old, and I had an assistant teacher who was Japanese, so she was like a certified hoikushi.
Oh, yeah. Hoikushi.
What is the word for that? Like early childcare specialist.
Yeah.
And she was really, really strict, but she loved me. So like, I felt so special. I was like, oh my gosh, I got her approval.
Yeah.
And then when I left, she was so sad. She was like, oh, I was going to take your place.
But she didn't expect you to be more strict or anything.
No, I think when I was training, like the first couple weeks, she would pull me aside and be like, because she was very strict about the time. Like we can only do this game for like 10 minutes. So she was like, we had a great time and all, but we have a schedule. So we need to stick to the schedule. But it wasn't really in a rude way. She was just like, to make the day smooth, that's what we got to do.
Okay, yeah.
And then I was like, all right. And then,
Then you adjusted and it worked.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was fine. Yeah, so where you're teaching now for the international school, is it a mix of Japanese kids and foreign kids?
Yes. In my class right now, I think I've got like maybe 5 Japanese kids, 4 Korean kids, 2 or 3 Chinese students, an American student, Indian student, Russian student, Ukrainian student. We have a pretty diverse mix.
Okay.
A few kids, maybe one from Taiwan. And so it's the school, they kind of cap the number of Japanese students who can enter a grade so that it is diverse. Because I know a lot of international schools here will say they're international, but it's like mostly Japanese kids.
Yeah. Well, at least for preschool and kindergarten, I don't think there's any kind of regulation about who can call themselves international. So a lot of people just throw it in the name as a selling point.
Exactly.
But I would hope that at least for elementary, middle and high school, it's legitimately international.
Right, exactly. If you're going to call yourself like an actual international school, especially like you said with older grades, then the expectation is that they actually be international. And it is. So that's nice to have, diversity, both with students and with the colleagues. The colleagues are also quite diverse.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So in all of your time teaching, has there been any other teacher that like really inspired you to do better too?
I mean, there's so many teachers, honestly, that I've seen who just do such an amazing job. Let me think back to my years in China. There were teachers who, we all were really intentional about our connections with the students. But some teachers just went above and beyond to just do kind things for their kids. One teacher, she and I shared a grade. So I had half the kids, she had the other half. I think she taught history or something. I forget what she taught. I taught speech. And so we swapped the classes halfway through the year. And she would host these like movie and cookie nights in her apartment. And all of us teachers lived on the campus of the school in like a big, kind of like a dormitory. It was like a long hallway, like college dormitory vibes. But the apartments were big and spacious inside. And so she had the biggest apartment at the very end of the hallway. And so she would host these like movie nights, and she'd bake all these cookies and stuff, and have all the kids come over. And the kids loved it. They were sophomores. It was 10th grade. And they would talk about it all the time. And her cookies were really good too. Really good cookies. And so I remember thinking, wow, like she's putting that much effort into this. And it was my first year as a teacher, I remember. And I think we eventually stopped sharing the grades, but I then started to do my own movie nights. And I'd bake the cookies too. She gave me the recipe, and I'd bake cookies in her oven and then host myself.
Do you still make those cookies?
I no longer have the recipe. I've lost it. I'm sure I can find something similar online, but yeah, I haven't hosted any movie cookie nights since. Yeah. Especially now that I teach younger kids, you know, you can't be like, hey,
you can't invite them
6-year-olds, come over. As much fun as that might be.
We could do it at the school.
Right, exactly. We just had a big sleepover at the school last weekend. And it was really fun. The kids, they had a blast. They were just on cloud 9, except when it came to sleep time. Some of the kids were in tears, you know. Yeah. Some of them were like, I can't sleep.
Why am I still here?
Right. Like,
I should have gone
home. It's my very first sleepover. But it was a fun event. But yeah, there's been teachers there. There's been teachers in Sendai who similarly went above and beyond to make, you know, the classroom environment warm and like fun for the kids. And I think I tried to embody that from my very first year there, like, because it was kind of one of those you're a dancing monkey type of situations to get the kids interested in learning English. But I really tried to make sure the kids were having fun in my class and would enjoy coming. Same when I came to Tokyo. And the Tokyo youchien I worked at was, we used the same curriculum and same like structure as the Sendai youchien. So I just like kept doing the same thing when I moved here. And now at my international school, it's a lot more work, a lot more planning, a lot more assessments and homework and meetings with parents and things. But I still really, I see teachers there who are just so good at their jobs. I'm like, wow, I don't know how you do this. They manage all of that, and they do a good job at it too. Because that's the thing. I'm like, I can maybe do these things. I don't know if I'll do a good job at it, but I can get it done.
Well, I'm sure there's someone who would say the same about you. Like Mr. Patrick really inspires me.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one of the things I enjoy the most about teaching is the students, my connection, my impact that I'm able to have on the students. That's really, really important to me. And so being able to transition from a job where I'm with kids for just 40 minutes a day to kids with me all day, and I'm able to really build into them and watch them grow, it's really, really valuable to me. And I'm happy to do it, even though it's exhausting.
Yeah.
I love doing it.
Since becoming an international school teacher, is the salary better than being an eikaiwa teacher? Are the benefits better? Do you get actual holidays?
Yes, to all the above.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's totally worth it.
I think
all
so.
around.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say the work-life balance, I haven't quite mastered that yet. I definitely had more time to myself when I was an English teacher. But definitely the salary is a lot better. And my school runs, a lot of international schools run on an international schedule, like calendar, which is similar to like the American school calendar.
It's an American school, right? Because I think there's some British ones.
There's some British ones. This one isn't American. It's international. We run under we use the IB, I don't know if you've heard of IB approach. I don't even know how to explain IB, so I'm not going to try.
I only know Montessori.
Okay. It's not...
If that means anything.
Yeah, I do know Montessori. It's not similar to Montessori, really, but... and I guess it doesn't really factor into the calendar so much, or the schedule of the school, but the school itself is not an American school. It's not an American school. It's a international school using the IB approach. And the IB approach, I don't remember which country started it. I think it's a European country maybe, but we don't consider ourselves whatever country that is. We're not that country type of school. But the calendar, basically, that means we run from August to June, as opposed to April to March, like the Japanese school year.
Oh, so you'll get a long summer holiday.
Yeah, we get like 2 months off, I think.
Nice.
Or 6 weeks, maybe, 6 weeks. And then we get a pretty decent winter break, spring break. We don't celebrate all the Japanese holidays because there's so many small ones, right?
Yeah.
But we do celebrate some of them, and it balances out. We have pretty good breaks, I think.
Nice.
And so, yeah, it's a really good schedule. The flow of each day is pretty nice too. We start work at 8 a.m., finish at 4:30, which I know for a lot of Japanese school teachers is not the case at all.
Yeah.
At my last
That's
school,
quite early.
yes, they start early and they often stay till like 7.
10?
So, yeah, exactly.
10
Sometimes they
p.m.
go to like 9, 10 in the evening. It's crazy, but we have a very strict at 4:30. Like we don't get overtime. It's like you're out at 4:30.
But that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you get those holidays, how do you usually spend them? Do you travel? Do you go home?
Definitely for the winter holiday, I'll go back home. So I usually go home once a year.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask that too. How often have you gone home?
Yeah, it's usually just once a year. At this point, I love my family, and I like to see them. I wouldn't say I miss them though, because it's been so long that I've been living abroad. I don't get to the place where I'm like, oh, I want to see my family. And we FaceTime all the time anyways.
Okay.
We FaceTime like a couple times a month, which is enough for me. And so I don't really feel the need to go back more than once a year. But outside of going home, when I'm on breaks, when I'm not just trying to like recover, like rest in my bed, I do like to travel. I haven't traveled in a minute, like around Japan. I used to take trips around Japan a lot, but I would like to start doing that again more. I like to go to different areas of Tokyo and like see different things with friends. I like to go to onsen. I love relaxing in onsen. They're so nice. I like to, just grab meals with friends. My friends and I, we rotate through like hosting like little get-togethers at our homes. And so I'll do that with friends often. Just small, chill stuff, nothing big.
To kind of go back to teaching for a second, have you had any kind of like cultural teaching moments? Or I don't know if you have any tattoos, but for example, if they saw you had a tattoo and then you would be like, well, a lot of people from my country have those. You get any moments like that?
I think my very first year actually in Sendai, I had a moment with one of the heads of the school where he told me something that I couldn't really tell if it was like a racist comment or what. But he's a Japanese guy. But he said, so Patrick, just so you know, you're going to have to work harder than a lot of the other foreign teachers at the school. I was one of the few black teachers at the school. And he said, you're going to have to work harder because the parents, they're going to be viewing you a bit differently than your white coworkers. A lot of people have that impression of English teachers, like foreign English teachers, as being white.
Yeah.
And so I think he was saying that to help me. I think his intentions were I think, pure. But I think his delivery, I don't remember exactly how he said it, but I remember feeling some type of way afterwards. But it also kind of like put things in perspective for me. Like, okay, if this is the reality, like I am going to have to make sure I'm, like I don't want to fall into any of the stereotypes that exist that are out there for black people. I don't want them to be thinking things about me. And then for example, one of the stereotypes that black people have is that we're very aggressive. We're very like mean and we can be kind of scary. I don't want a parent to see me like if I'm scolding their child. I don't want them to be like, oh man, it's because he's black and my kid's going to be scared or something. Like I've made kids cry before. I don't want them to go home and be like, oh, my teacher made me cry, and then be like, oh, it's because he's black, And I've avoided that. Like I've managed to avoid any of that stuff happening. I've never had, to my knowledge, I've never had a parent or a kid be like, oh, I don't like him because he's black, or say XYZ about me. But I am mindful of that. And I've been mindful of it ever since. Even now at my school, where it's a very diverse group of kids and parents and staff, there still aren't many black people. There's like maybe, I think, maybe 3 or 4 of us at my school. Teachers. Students, it's like 1, maybe 2. And that's from like the preschool up to the high school. Like there's like almost none of us there. But I'm always aware, like, okay, we had a field trip yesterday and we invited the parents all to come on the field trip. We went to this big park and played and stuff. And I remember one moment I was thinking, like, are these parents like comparing the way that I do things with the other teacher who's running her grade 1 class? Are they looking at the 2 of us and thinking like, why is he doing this way while she's doing this way? Is it because he's black? You know, are they judging me? And I don't think any of them were. The parents are really great. We have a really good group of parents this year, I think, in both sets of classes. And I don't think any of that was happening. But those thoughts run through my mind in those types of situations because I'm in a country where like nobody looks like me. And of course, that's any foreigner. Like white foreigners, you go outside. If you went outside, you wouldn't see that many people that look like you either. But knowing that the percentage of black people is so much lower in Japan compared to other foreigners, I'm always kind of thinking like, if people are staring at me when I'm out in public, I'm like, are they staring at me because they recognize me from social media? Are they staring at me because I'm black? Are they staring at me because they think, you know, my hair is weird? Or are they staring at me because I have something on my face? You know, it could be any of the above. And so cultural moments like that, where my previous boss, I guess, told me that was one of the things that really shaped, I think, my outlook or my internal sort of mindset when living in Japan. And that comes into play whether I'm just walking around outside or when I'm teaching a group of kids or interacting with their parents, you know. Yeah. I'm always like thinking about that.
New anxiety unlocked.
Yes.
When you said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of used to it. Like I don't lose sleep over it. I'm like, well, I think about it and then I move on.
Good. Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
But the co-host that I had for this podcast, she was working for like a dispatch company. Like they would assign different teachers. And the most common thing that the parents would ask for is American white female.
American white female.
Yeah. So
interesting.
I fit that bill, but like that doesn't mean someone's a good teacher.
Right.
Just because you look the part, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I hope that's changing. I was going to say, I think it's changing, but I don't actually know if it's changing. I hope that
everything changes slowly.
Right.
So
right.
I think it is. Hopefully. So how does your family feel about you living abroad?
I think
they've gotten used to it.
They've gotten used to it. My mom still hates it. My mom, she wants me to come back to the States. She says it often. My dad's fine with it, I think. And now that my older sister has moved back to Japan for the next few years at least, I think my parents, especially my mom, is even more like, I think, resistant to the idea of it because my sister has kids. And so my mom's grandkids now
her grandkids are so far
gone to Japan. But yeah, I think at this point my mom's like, she's kind of like given up. Yeah. She's like, I know, like, especially with me, she's like, I can't control what Patrick does. I wouldn't say I'm a rebellious or was a rebellious kid, but I was the one who would butt heads with my mom the most. I remember dyeing my hair red once when I was in China, and she was not happy about that. I've talked about getting tattoos before, and she's like, no. Like anything, she's very, very conservative mom. My dad doesn't really care, but she knows that if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be me. And she's just resigned herself. Like, he's going to do what he's going to do.
Have your parents visited Japan before?
They have, yeah. They visited a few times, and they'll be visiting in the summer actually because of the grandkids. So yeah, they've seen Japan before, but they my mom is not a big fan of it. She's like, there's too much walking.
Yeah.
And she's unfortunately come in the summertime. I think both times she's come, and it's, as you know, it's
I'm so sorry.
I'm like, I don't know why you want to come in the summertime now, knowing what it
Try the
was
winter.
like.
Try November.
Right? Exactly. Or like go to Hokkaido or something. Not this area.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been before.
That's good. Yeah. Do you want to stay in Japan long term, do you think? Or it's kind of just if I like, I'll stay as long as I want to stay.
I more that, but I think I'm leaning more in the last year or so, leaning more towards yes, is where I want to be long term. I'm in the process of applying for PR actually. And I just have no desire to go back to the US with the current state of the country. And even before the current state became what it is, I was just not so interested. There's nothing pulling me back. Like my family was there, obviously. But again, I'm not at the point where I miss them a lot because I see them so often on FaceTime. Technology has really just made a huge difference. And so I just don't see it happening. Of course, there are other places I can move to, but I'm like, I've been here for so long. I've invested so much of my life in this country and these kids and the language. I just don't really see myself going anywhere else.
Yeah. How's your Japanese?
Good question. So I have invested. Yes, exactly. Okay. I can get by. I said I've invested a lot of time in the language, and I have. It just hasn't been consistent time. And so the result is it's such a difficult language for me to acquire. I can get by. I can speak Japanese. I can, have conversations with people, simple conversations with people. But I'm nowhere near where I want to be for like language proficiency.
Yeah, I think that's how it is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For myself too. Like every time I think I'm doing well, then somebody will say something and I don't understand it. And I'm like, I thought I knew. Okay.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I went to an event last night, a creators event. And well, first of all, I have really bad hearing. I cannot hear if there's background noise.
Well, the event was probably loud.
It was so loud. It was so loud. Couldn't understand things that people were saying to me in English half the time. Then when people started speaking to me in Japanese, it was just, there was no hope. There was no chance I was going to understand and be able to reply to anything people were saying in Japanese. And so at moments like that, I'm like, but there were some moments though where I could, like people were right next to me and I could understand what they were saying. I remember there were two guys who were having a conversation. They were foreign guys and they were speaking like, Konpeki Japanese. It was so good, so fluent. And they were trying to have a conversation like almost over my head. So I was hearing everything they were saying. And I was like, I will never get to that level of like fluency. And I don't want to have that mindset. Like you shouldn't have that mindset. You should always, keep trying. But like in
that's what you say until you get there.
Exactly.
You won't even realize it when it happens.
Maybe I'll get there one day. Yeah, that's a good mindset to have. But when I hear things like that, and like you said, someone will say something to you, you don't understand anything, and you're like, oh my goodness.
So I know nothing. Okay.
Yes. I have those moments often. But I'm not as bad as I tend to think I am with Japanese. I need to have more confidence. And so this is another difference between China and Japan. Because Chinese people are so outgoing, and like I said, they're willing to practice English with you. I felt very brave in attempting to speak Mandarin with them. And my Mandarin grew quite significantly in just the 3 years I was there, to the point where I was going places. I remember there was this big electronics market that we would call it. I'd go there anytime I needed stuff to get fixed, like my computer or my phone. I would just go and look around and talk with people and barter and stuff in Mandarin. I look back on that, I'm like, how was I bold enough to do that with just 3 years of Mandarin? But I was doing it. And I came here and no one wants to speak English with you. And I think that shyness that Japanese people had impacted me. And so now I'm super shy. I don't want to make any mistakes with Japanese. So I'm not aggressive. I'm not outgoing with the language. I don't try. I'm I'll of course take lessons, But outside of my classes, I'm not, well, of course, I will talk to people when I need to.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go and be like, oh, can I practice my Japanese with you? And like, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go somewhere and be like, you know, if there's an electronics market here somewhere, I'm not going to go and be trying to barter with, you don't barter here in Japan, but like I wouldn't try something like that the same way I would in China because the confidence is not there anymore. And I think it's because the country is just, that's how it is. People are just, they don't want to make mistakes. They don't want to stand out. And when you speak Japanese in public, like in line or something, you see people like turning and like listening.
Out, the pressure's on. Yeah.
What was that?
The pressure's on.
Yes.
But I feel like, because I started out living in Tokyo, when I moved to Osaka, my Japanese got so much better because people were more talkative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now when I do things like, I don't know, getting my nails done or those kind of services, like a lot of those ladies are really chatty. So like that's some of the best practice that I get.
Yeah. See, that's what I need. I need people who are outgoing and chatty. Yeah. But willing to dumb down their Japanese enough for my level. And that I feel like a burden when they have to do that. I'm like I'm an inconvenience, you know? But, you know, it's...
Probably not, though.
Right. Honestly, people are like, they're thrilled to just hear that you're attempting
you're trying,
Japanese.
so that's good.
And they tell you that too. So I need to keep that mindset, but it's often hard to keep it in mind because, you know, the pressure is on, like you said, and you get real self-conscious. But yeah. So my Japanese is not great, but I'm hoping to continue improving. Yeah.
So on another note, in all of your time living here, has there been any kind of heartwarming experience or like moment that you had with somebody that has stuck with you this whole time?
I think the most heartwarming things that I've encountered they've always been related to my work as a teacher. It's always been either students or parents writing me notes or like a thank you card or something. One of my students, my very first year in Sendai, he was in my 4th grade class. He's now in university, and he moved to Tokyo for university. And he reached out last year at some point and was like, "Hey, Mr. Patrick, I'm in Tokyo. Can we get a meal?" And just that alone, in and of itself, was like, wow, like he's all grown up, but he still wants to like connect with me as his 4th grade teacher. Like I was his 4th grade teacher years ago.
You made such a good impression.
I guess. But it was crazy because we were out at a Kamakura and we ran into someone who recognized me from social media. And I was explaining, oh yeah, this was my old student like from years ago. And the student pulled up a picture that he had on his phone from 4th grade. And the couple that we were talking to were like, wow, like they were floored just seeing, of course, the difference in age, like knowing like the realization that so much time has passed and we still have this connection, but like also that he held on to this for so long. Yeah. And in that moment, I was like almost moved to tears. Like, yeah, the impact that I have, you don't always realize what you do. You don't always realize how you affect people. And you may never even see years later that come to realization. But just knowing in moments like that, in a few other instances where I've been able to see the impact actually, you know, like manifest, it's so fulfilling, so heartwarming, and it really just makes me want to continue doing what I'm doing. And so I think outside of teaching, like I'm sure there's been other moments that have been heartwarming, but I'm drawing a blank at them.
Yeah.
It's mostly been, education related.
Yeah. Has there been anything negative that stuck with you? Like things you're just overthinking about when you can't sleep at night. You're like, oh, why did this happen?
I mean, definitely I have moments where I think, why am I in Japan? Moments where I'm like, I am not good at the language. I don't fit in here, clearly. Like, no matter what I do, I'll never fit in here. Japanese people, even if I become fluent in Japanese, they're never going to view me as like, someone who's a part of their society fully. When I have like thoughts like that and they kind of start to spiral, it makes me, I wouldn't say I consider moving back home because I don't really ever consider moving back home. Yeah. But I'm like, am I wasting my time here? Like, have I wasted all these years in a country where like I don't belong? Then I remember like, no, there are so many people who would completely disagree with me if I told them that. Yes. And would probably be able to recount multiple reasons and instances of why I am maybe needed here. Mm-hmm. I think the impact that I'm able to have as a teacher, but also as a Black person outside of the school system, like just walking down the street and interacting with people, like the way I'm able to probably break a lot of negative stereotypes that Black people have, and the way I'm able to hopefully show people that like I'm a person just like you, just because my skin is different color and my hair might be different, like it doesn't mean XYZ. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really important thing. And I think even with my social media, being able to make that message, or like, how do I say, put that out there. Yeah. Put that out there online, but also put it out in person in Japan, I think is a really valuable thing. And I think is needed. I think it's necessary.
Yeah, I think so too.
And so when I have those spiraling moments where I'm like, I don't belong here, I just remember
that.
Actually, I think I do belong here.
Beautiful. So a lighter question. What is your favorite and least favorite Japanese foods?
Ooh.
Is there anything you can't eat?
There's nothing I can't eat. I don't have any allergies or anything. And there's nothing that like I'm not willing to try. Mm-hmm. But I would say my least favorite.
Like if somebody was going to message you like, oh, let's get lunch. It's this food. Like,
I tend to be a little more resistant, I guess, to takoyaki.
Oh, that's not my favorite either.
I don't know why.
It's so hot.
It burns your tongue. And I don't know, the texture, I think it's a texture thing for me. I just, I've never been able to get into it.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. It's not like a hard no, but I'm like, can we go somewhere else maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite, one of my least favorites. Mm-hmm. My favorite Japanese food. I mean, I love ramen, although ramen is technically Chinese. Yeah. I do love ramen, yakitori. I love yakiniku. Yakiniku might be my favorite. I love yakiniku. I think yakiniku is my favorite. Yeah. Oh, so good.
Nice. I'm also not a fan of takoyaki. And then, because I travel so much for work, and when you visit a small village or something, they often have soba. On the menu. So like I got so tired of eating soba. Oh. So now if anybody is like, oh, we're going to have soba. I'm like, no, please. Not again.
Soba. Okay. So even in like summertime, still no.
I think I prefer somen. Like, especially.
Sorry. I'm thinking somen. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But there is cold soba too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I like nagashi somen because it's fun. Like they have the noodle slice.
Yeah. I've never tried that before.
Yeah. But I don't dislike soba, but I would prefer to have something else if it's on the menu.
Even at that, something else. I see.
Yeah. Is there anything that you miss from back home? Any food, any cultural aspect? I
mean, besides being able to read everything, all the signs, I really miss that. Mm-hmm. And like understand announcements and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like fully understand, because sometimes when you're on like at a train station and you hear an announcement, you like I have to like really listen in to pick up what they're saying. Mm-hmm. If I got headphones in, I'm not going to understand. I'm not going to be like, oh, they're saying something. And you like in America, you could kind of catch it even with headphones in. You're like, okay. You have to intentionally like focus on what they're saying to catch stuff sometimes.
It's delayed, but when is it running again?
Right, exactly.
I didn't hear the full thing.
Yeah, exactly. You're like trying to translate the first part. The second part's going on. Besides that, I would say for food, I think I miss like breakfast foods. I love breakfast foods. And there are some places in Tokyo that have, breakfast foods. With Tokyo, you can find like anything here. There's
true. That's
everything here.
That's one thing I really enjoy when I visit Tokyo. I don't want to live here again, but I do enjoy the things I eat when I visit.
Right? Yeah, because you have access to pretty much everything. But I think the access is so much more significant, more prominent when you're back in the US. And with breakfast food specifically, there's so many places that offer breakfast foods, and I miss that. I miss that a lot. If you go to like places like hotels or something and they have a breakfast option, or they have like free breakfast, and here in Japan, and you go and it's like rice, what else? Like they have natto packets, laying around, which is breakfast foods that I would not complain about if I was Japanese. I don't complain about it now at all. And if I was a Japanese person, I'd be like, this is great. It's breakfast. As an American, I do miss the pancakes, the French toasts, the waffles, the sausage, the crispy bacon.
The real bacon.
Yes. The crispy ones, not the other bacon.
Not the strips of ham.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe I miss breakfast foods the most. But again, I shouldn't complain because in Tokyo, I can find them. I can find breakfast places.
So the last question, just to wrap things up, is there any advice that you would give to somebody who wants to come and teach English here in this current climate?
Let's see. So first of all, I would recommend you try to learn as much Japanese prior to moving to Japan as you can. Because I know a lot of people who have done that and they have, amazing Japanese. I, unfortunately, did not study Japanese beforehand. I was in China teaching and then I came here and I was not a language student. So I wasn't able to learn my first few years while I was here. I went straight into teaching and it gets really hard to invest time in learning the language as you're working full time. So try to do it beforehand or try to come as a language student first and then go into English teaching if that's what you're interested in doing. That's one of the first things I would say. Secondly, I would say don't use English teaching as a way just to come into Japan because a lot of people enter that field and they don't take it seriously. There are a number of foreign people who come here as English teachers and they just kind of mess around and they don't care much about their students. They don't care about the lessons they're teaching. They just want to party in Shibuya all the time. You'll find that in any field around the world. But I do know there are a number of people. It's like a phenomenon.
Yes.
The English teacher, thing. But take it seriously. Like if that's what you want to do, then come here and do it. Do it well, because you'll be really respected for it. English teachers get kind of a bad rap, and so for legitimate reasons, for understandable reasons. So try to fight that. I would say teaching is a very respected field here in Japan. And so you will be met with respect. So please try to show respect for it also. And then I would say another thing is to try to find community as soon as you can, because a lot of people come to Japan and don't have that community and they get burned out really fast. And they miss back home and they go back after 1 year. Some people come intentionally to just do a year or two, and that's fine. But people who are just trying to, do something new often end up having a really difficult time. And they're like, this was horrible. I want to go back now. And one of the big reasons for that, I think, is because they don't have a really good group of people to surround themselves with, that they can talk to, that they can rely on for help with stuff, that they can be friends with. Because, again, it's going to be difficult to make friends with Japanese people. So you might struggle with that. But if you have people who either are from your culture or from your country, not even necessarily from your country or culture, but people who you just connect with. They could even be Japanese people. Maybe you get lucky and you can connect really well with Japanese people. That'd be great. That's the ideal situation, I feel like.
Yeah.
Make sure you just find people that you really are connected with and that you can establish as your community here. That will really make a difference in your experience, I think. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast and chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for letting me come. This was fun.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I'm glad to know more about you.
Yeah, it was great to hear about you too. Yeah.
And to everybody who's listening and watching, thank you so much for being here for this episode, and I'll catch you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.